Hey guys, Joseph Arendsen here, answering the big question that's on everybody's mind, and that is where prices might be heading. On this month's episode, I'm breaking it all down for you. Here we go. Before we get into any predictions, we gotta look at where we are today. There's really three stats that I follow every single month to understand kind of where this market is heading. The first stat being new inventory, so new properties coming on the market. Sure enough, in the last 30 days, we've only seen about 1,100 homes come on the market. You know, right now in this time of the year, I would like to see that probably closer to 2,500 homes coming on the market. So we're really not seeing enough inventory entering our market right now. That's also a bad thing because we saw 2 months of some of the lowest new inventory levels that we've seen. So we're just not getting enough inventory. The second stat that I always look at is the amount of homes that actually sold, right? What we know is that pricing is determined by supply and demand. Well, sure enough, we had 1,800 homes sell and only 1,100 homes come on the market. So there's a big difference there. And then the last stat that I always look at, which tells us right where we are today, and that is our amount of properties that are going into escrow, right? Accepting an offer, seller accepting an offer and putting a property into escrow, and that's our pending stat. And sure enough, we have 1,700 homes under contract right now. So that is a big indicator that our supply and demand is a little out of whack. So to answer the big question, where do we think prices are heading? We have to consider supply and demand. Now, why are we not getting enough supply? That's the big question. Why are people not moving right now? Well, sure enough, after doing some research, Black Knight just put out an article in February that states that over 50% of the mortgages across the United States actually have an interest rate that is below 3.5%. So for any of those families to maybe move up or downsize into a property, they're gonna be paying almost double what they currently are on interest rate. We're floating about 6.5 to 7%. So a lot of homeowners are really second guessing making that additional move. Furthermore, a lot of my clients, I'm a big advocate and big supporter of people holding their real estate. So I talk people out of selling all the time and maybe turning that property into an investment property. And that's what we're seeing. With rental rates going up, a lot of homeowners are maybe looking at buying their next property and then renting out their current one. So the big question is, when are we gonna get enough inventory to really adjust the supply and demand factor? Well, unfortunately, there's no answer for that. We're not seeing it. We don't have a foreclosure market. We don't have enough new development in our market in San Diego. So unfortunately, I think these inventory levels will stay low. So what could affect our market? The big unknown right now, guys, is interest rates. Interest rates continue to go up as the Fed came out and said that they were gonna do big increases. They were claiming they were gonna do about 0.5% increase on the federal rate. Well, sure enough, you can see on this chart, interest rates started to go up. They actually got back up to 7%. That was when we saw the market truly slow down in the fourth quarter of last year. Well, since everything started to unfold in the banking industry, we've seen interest rates start to take a drastic downswing. I actually predict that we'll probably see them level out, come about 6.5, maybe even down to 6%, and they'll probably stay there. The Fed has already came out and said that instead of doing a 0.5% increase, they're planning on doing 0.25%, and honestly, that could change. So to answer everybody's question out there, where are prices heading? Well, frankly, by this graph, we always saw a little bit of a downswing or a market change as we go through the holidays. And usually around this time of the year, we see an uptick and we start seeing more sales happen. And bottom line, if more sales continue to happen like they are, and we don't have the supply to fill that demand, we're gonna see prices continue to go up. And we actually already saw that in 2023. I hope that answers your guys' questions. If you guys have any questions at all, please reach out to myself or anybody here on the True Local team.